And we're recording. I can see the chat, so that's good. No one has their camera on, so I can't find the little gallery, but that's okay because you don't have your camera on. As long as you can see me and my screen, we're good to go. So welcome. Today is 2222. Won't get to say that ever again. Today is 2222. All right. Wednesday, yes, is our resource for math, calculation, and problem solving. And today we're going to review some keywords that we may find in word problems to help us figure out what in the world is it asking us to do, and use those key terms to figure out what operation to use to solve or answer the question, okay? So have two videos from Math Mashup. If you want to find let's see, where did I put it? Under announcements, I think I put it. Under the announcements, there's a link called the YouTube Learning Links, and it's a live active PDF that has YouTube playlists of all the videos that I share in class and a few extra ones for you guys when you're studying things in math that you might need trouble with. There's every link will take you to a YouTube playlist that has like 5 to 10 videos of different videos to help you as a study guide, okay? And so the two videos I'm going to share today are under the algebra vocabulary. So when you click on that, it's a live link. It'll take you right to the YouTube videos, and you can pick which one you want to watch. All right, so we're going to start with the key math terms for addition and subtraction. Sorry. Let me know if you can't explain correctly.
Fire and water are opposite and opposing elements. Addition and subtraction share a similar relationship, and we call them inverse operations. So if we start with some quantity, adding to it will make it larger. In this case, we'll add 2 units to it. And then the inverse is subtraction, where if we subtract those 2 units, we're making it smaller, and now it is the same quantity that we started with.
Cool.
So the inverse of adding 2 is subtracting 2. So now that we understand why addition and subtraction are kind of grouped together, let's go ahead and explore the question of what words and phrases are associated with addition and subtraction. Starting with addition, we have add and plus. We also have sum, combine, altogether, more than, and increase by. And all of these common words and phrases can be used to represent addition. So if we need to describe an expression in words, we have a whole bunch of phrases that we can use. So in this case, we could just say 5 plus 7. Or we could say the sum of 5 and 7. So now, using that list of terms, go ahead and see if you can write down 3 more. And now we're ready for the inverse operation of addition, which is subtraction. Now we can say minus and subtract. We also say difference, less or take away, fewer than, deduct, and decrease. All of these words and phrases are associated with subtraction. So So if we want to put in words something like 10 minus 6, we can just write 10 minus 6. Or we can say the difference of 10 and 6. So again, just like before, go ahead and use that list of words and phrases that represent subtraction and see if you can write down 3 more. So just remember, as we start to get into algebraic translation, we need to be familiar with these terms and phrases for each mathematical operation. So just make sure you're comfortable using these terms and make sure you know what they mean, and we'll see you next time. Thank you so much, guys, for checking us out. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel for more free.
All right. So how many more can we think about? What can you remember of seeing in word problems that could mean that you need to add or subtract that he might not have mentioned? Anybody think of any? You can put it in the chat. You don't have to talk on the mic. That's okay. Can't think of any. Where problems are not on your mind. Yes, and yes, we're gonna do multiplication and division in 1 minute. Yes, so those are other ones. Yes, sometimes you see phrases like how many more, how many's left. Okay. All right, good, good, good. Thank you. All right, so let me go back. These are part of your playlist, so you can watch these again. And I will post a keyword for problem solving little chart like this one. We're not watching this video, but I'm gonna make a little chart like this one for you, and then post that under announcements as well, so that you have a little chart. So multiplication and division, they have some keywords too that you might see in problem solving when using, oh my goodness, when you're using word problems. So let's watch this one and then we'll get, sorry, I don't know, I guess I.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to this lesson on multiplication and division expressed in words. So let's start off with a discussion of opposites. Just like cats and dogs, strength and weakness,
Come on.
sweet and sour,
Ooh.
or even daytime and nighttime. We can think of multiplication and division as opposites. More specifically, in math, we call them inverse operations. Think of it this way. If you have one gummy bear, if you were to multiply that one gummy bear by 5, you would have 5 gummy bears, since 1 times 5 is equal to 5. Now, the inverse operation would be to divide this new group of gummy bears by 5, and 5 divided by 1 is just 1. So those 4 other gummy bears are gone, and what we are left with is the one gummy bear that we started with. And this example should help us to understand this relationship between multiplication and division, that they are inverse operations.
Oh, yeah.
So now that we are refreshed on why multiplication and division go hand in hand, we can go ahead and explore the different words and phrases that are used to express these operations in words. So let's start off with multiplication. And we have a few different symbols that we use to represent multiplication. And we also have many different words and phrases, such as multiply, times. We also have product. We can say area. We can also say twice or triple or double or by. And again, any of these words or phrases can be used to represent
Okay, Riley, thank you.
multiplication.
Be careful.
For example, if we had something like 11 times 2, we could represent that as the product of 11 and 2. Or just 11 times 2. So now, using that list of words and phrases, see if you can come up with 3 more ways to verbally represent 11 times 2. So now that we've covered multiplication, let's look at its inverse, division, and we can express division using different symbols, including a slash or a fraction sign. Now we can use the word quotient or ratio, half of or divide, equal parts, or goes into. Now all of these words and phrases can represent division. So this example can be expressed verbally simply as 20 divided by 4. Another way would be to say the quotient of 20 and 4. So using that list of words and phrases, can you think of 3 more ways to express 20 divided by 4 in words? So as you move forward into algebraic translation, make sure that you're familiar with these terms and phrases, and make sure you know what operations that they represent, and we'll see you next time.
All right. Can you guys think of any more ways you remember seeing multiplication or division written in a word problem? Okay. Okay, that's okay. Well, when you learned division back in the early elementary days, when you were about this tall and we didn't say division yet, we used to say fair share. We used to say equal groups. And multiplication, we used to use pictures called arrays. Those are other ways to say multiplication and division. And so the tricky thing about word problems is knowing what they are saying, because they don't give you so much numbers, where math is, it won't just be like 20 divided by 4. They'll say Adolfo had 20 cookies and he wanted to share them evenly or equally with 4 of his friends. How many cookies would each friend get? All of that is just a way of saying what is 20 divided by 4, okay? So 20 divided by 4, each friend would have 5 cookies, okay? Sometimes they get really tricky and they'll say, how many cookies will everyone get if Adolfo also shared the cookies? So then you have to realize that it says 4 friends, but now you have to remember that Adolfo is going to get cookies too. So that means he's dividing the 20 cookies 5 times, okay? And so everyone will get 4 cookies. I love cookies too. Yes. Oreo just turned 110 years old. I didn't know they were making cookies that long. All right. So that's the only thing that's tricky. We just have to kind of dissect all the words and really figure out what it is that they're asking you to do, because they won't just say, what is 20 divided by 4? What is 20 divided by 5? They're going to throw a whole bunch of words or a whole real world scenario. Like my hardest ones, when you have to convert them into like algebra, is for the time elapsing. So if it takes him 10 minutes to walk from point A to point B, how many minutes will he have walked in a week? Well, then you have to know that a week is 7 days. So instead of using one, because it says 1 week, you have to translate that into days. So it's just a lot of mental thinking and references. And that's why word problems is kind of tricky. So what I want us to do is practice a little bit. Whoops, it's right here. All right. So what I want you guys to do is practice some word problems. Let me see how you're doing. And it's no one's gonna see your report, just me, okay? And that gives me an idea of where the keywords are that we have to zone in on next week. And so I want you to log in to this link that I am going to share in the chat. If I can, yes, I can find the chat, yay. All right, it's right here. My little gallery boxes. So it's a quizzes. Each question, the allotted time, maximum amount of time it lets me give is 15 minutes. So each question is 15 minutes of time. So take your time. If you're new to the class, you may not have bookmarked the calculator. So I am going to give you another link to the online calculator. There's some of them you might need a calculator, and that's okay, because that's on your accommodation. So you're allowed to use it anyway, right? So use it. And we started out with using the calculator. So hopefully you remember what all those key buttons do when you use them. What else should I give you? In case it doesn't work, because it prefers Google as the URL browser. If you're using Safari or Firefox, that's okay. You might just have to copy and paste joinmyquiz.com. And then the game code is 32182169. And remember, it lets me see real time. So I'm gonna drag this over so that you don't see the names pop up, because I promised I wouldn't ever let anybody see your scores, just me. So I'm putting that onto screen 2. So you can't see it now. So hopefully you're logged in. I'm gonna check in 1 second. All right, let's see. This is practice to make perfect. And in math, it takes some longer than others, but no one's ever gonna be perfect at math, because as you get one skill down, you're gonna be introduced to a whole new skill, and that's okay. That's part of the growth mindset. All right, Simon, good job. I see you're in. Tyreek, good job. Adolfo, I'm sorry. Do you need any help logging in? I'm gonna stop recording because I'm done for today talking and I don't wanna be all over I'm gonna mute myself, but I'm still sitting right here. I'll leave my camera on if you have any questions. When you're done, you're free to go, of course. Take your time, use your calculator, use your notes. Thank you guys for coming.